Welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. More information about those coupon codes and those companies that support the program, you can find it all at our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Season 9 tab at the top of the page. Holly, let's go to the hotline and bring in our guest for this week.
David Stelzer is the founder and CEO of As Your Standard. David began farming organically as a teenager in the 1970s with a passion for providing truly healthful foods grown without conventional chemical inputs. From small beginnings selling grain grown on the family farm, he founded As Your Standard in 1987 as a way to market not only what he grew, but other products requested by his customers. Welcome to the program, David.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And just to be transparent with everybody, As Your Standard is a sponsor of the program here in 2025. We appreciate that support. And please tell us tell our listeners about As Your Standard and your philosophy behind the company in which you've created.
Well, As Your Standard, we are the supplier of premium, high quality, mostly organic, all GMO, and extremely clean food ingredients and products that any family can use in their kitchen and in their household. And that's, basically what it's become at this point and we use a unique delivery model. It runs a little bit like e-commerce, but instead of shipping like by UPS or something, we have our own network of trucks that deliver that all over the nation. And rather than getting it directly to your door, you get it to your local community. We've got about 3,600, we call them drop points, throughout the country. So most of the time it's not very far from anybody, but, can't guarantee that. It could be a little further in some places than others. And then we deliver it there, so we can do it very efficiently. So our core mission is to be able to connect farmers that want to produce, and manufacturers too, for that matter, a high quality, above, higher than average, but typically high end type product to consumers that really care about their health and about the quality of the food they eat. And we do that in such a way with our distribution model to do that at a price that's affordable. Usually, they're not paying any more than they would pay buying lesser quality stuff in the standard supermarket quantities, especially if you're willing to buy bulk here at Azure.
That's really, really great explanation. Thank you. So people may have heard of the term food security, but don't know what it means. What is it, and how can we ensure more food security?
Well, I guess it can be defined differently depending on who's doing the defining on food security. I can give you my definition.
Go ahead.
So food security is making sure that we have a stable supply chain that can get us food as we need it. And also, and that's on a more global scale. And on a smaller scale, like a family scale, is making sure that we have enough food available in our home or within our easy grasp, so that if there is any kind of crises, whether that's, natural disaster, economic, whatever might come our way, that we are not going to have to start eating, either go hungry or eat something really crappy that's going to just, mess with our health and well-being. It's never more important to have optimum health than when we're in the middle of a natural disaster or some kind of a crisis. So having food security at the family level in my book means having a vibrant pantry, enough food that, and that's one way that you can, buying from Azure also allows you to buy in bulk, and you can, get a 25-pound bag of beans instead of just a little package. And there's some there. So, and as you rotate through that. So that's, that's on the family scale. Back on the national scale, and that's a bigger question. Do we have the growers in place, the sustainability in place, the supply chain in place, i.e. the distribution network? And that was one of the things when I first got into this business 35 years ago that, I had this great product, but there was no way to get it to people. There was no distribution mechanism. There was no way that, for sure that was affordable, but it just basically didn't exist. And that's what here, I've spent the last 30 years here at Azure creating, was an alternative distribution method, because the current distribution method is definitely skewed towards, international big food companies. They control that mechanism. There's basically in this space, there are just two national distributors and that are behemoth, big food, publicly traded type companies. And there's Azure. And that's it. So I feel like we are the alternative, food distribution network. And that was really important and really beautiful during COVID, because we do have those relationships with our farms and processors. The big boys, the two that are out there, they just jerk their vendors around. All they're doing is looking for short-term profits, and we're looking for a relationship. And so when the crises happened in 2020, we had food and they didn't, which helped Azure to grow a lot. So, I really feel like that has also been part of our mission.
Well, people hear about glyphosate, GMOs, etc., dyes in food. Why can these be harmful, and where should people be why should people be highly concerned about this?
Well, that could be a long answer but let's just take an example. Let me take just the glyphosate. And I could go into every single one of those, but that might be longer than what you want to be on here. But glyphosate is a weed killer. It kills weeds. It really kills everything. Any plant. It's a plant killer. It is a toxic amino acid, so it's a protein that, has been modified to be poisonous. And the way that it acts, two things. One is that it primarily blocks mineral uptake. So it doesn't actually kill the plant in the sense of being poison to the plant, but it poisons the plant in the sense that it does not allow it to take up minerals, particularly manganese, which forms a plant's immune system. So the plant typically dies from fusarium wilt or some other similar disease very quickly after being sprayed with glyphosate of any sort. So when we ingest it, it still does the same thing, blocks mineral uptake. But even worse, it is the amino acid chain that makes up the toxic glyphosate is very similar to the L-glycine amino acid, which is a very, very critical amino acid in our body. In fact, one of the things that amino acid does is it lubricates our joints in between the cartilage that help us to move. The body often confuses the toxic glyphosate amino acid with L-glycine, and it will stick that in the joints. Well, it's not very lubricating. It doesn't do the same job. And now we have a rash, an absolute rash of joint replacements going on. Since glyphosate hit the scene, joint replacements have gone up somewhere close to 1,000%. It's just unreal. It's created a big problem. And not to mention just all the people with sore joints and stuff that don't actually get them replaced. So, that's just one farm chemical, and that has absolutely really created major problems in the health of our population. Joints wearing out. Joints never wear out. Our joints are made to last longer than our bodies. They should, the doctors say, they're just wearing out, too much movement. Yeah, I call bullcrap on that. That's not what's happening. We're really, the more we move, the healthier our joints get. And I will tell you right now that a marathon runner doesn't have any higher incidence of joint replacement than somebody that's very sedentary. In fact, it's usually less likely. So no, they don't wear out. That's just, so, and that's just glyphosate, and that's just a few things, not to mention proven in court that it causes, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's absolutely been proven in court, and Monsanto spent untold millions of dollars settling cases over that. So, we have, and that's just one chemical. It's a substantial one. It's used very widely, especially in the corn and soy belts and in wheat and corn and soy. But, if we want to go into the rest of them, I could certainly give the technical pieces about that. But, we've been dedicated to not having those things in our product mix for many years. And glyphosate, of course, was a little bit later because we were, already, it took us a little while to figure out the absolute dangers of that. But we've known that for 30 years, 25 years at least now. And, and there's always new ones coming up. And you talk about food dyes and that kind of stuff, it's, you don't get, real science a lot of times when it's going to the government because, there's some pretty hefty lobbyists there that are making sure that just the right information is getting there. So it's very hard to deal with this at a government level. But we can definitely deal with it in our life. And I will say, in my life, and this is not even just the glyphosates and GMOs and all of that, but in my life, I have kind of a bit of a testimony in how that's worked. I grew up a really, really sickly kid. Truthfully, my wife did as well. We both were, in pretty bad shape. In fact, part of this journey, was my parents trying to figure out what was wrong with me that got us into diet change. But the next generation, as a nation, the generation from, those born in the 50s and 60s, which is my generation, and those that are born, in the early 2000s, nationally, which is my children's generation, it's completely, those kids are way sicker. In our generation, I was one of, only about 12% of children had some kind of a debilitating disease of some sort that they had to be on some kind of permanent medication for treatment. And today, that's somewhere around 57%, from what I just recently read. But in my family's, this went exactly opposite. Because when my wife and I got married, we absolutely dedicated to eating a clean diet. And super clean diet in many ways. We were a little bit of purists. And we fed our family a pure diet. And we never even we raised 11 children. We never had one even see a doctor. In all the time, 11 children at 8, for the first, at least till they were 18, other than one broken femur. That's the difference it makes.
That's really interesting, and thank you for sharing that with us. So, and thank you for being on the program. How can people find out more about you, and any tips that you want to provide for utilizing your services website, the Azure Standard services?
Oh, okay. So Azure Standard has a website, azurestandard.com. So you're certainly welcome to go to that and take a look around. Primarily, I guess if I were going to give a tip, is change your diet a little by little. So Azure can be a really good resource for doing that. Now, in my family's life, my parents changed our diet radically. It was a big deal. But what I'm finding with our Azure customers, if they change slowly, it's a lot less radical, and you get to the same end game, and probably with a lot less drama. So just change out. So Azure has the high quality ingredients. So just start changing out the things that you have in your pantry right now. So change out your regular white flour for organic white flour. Maybe someday you won't even use white flour because you'll want to go for 100% whole grain diet, but that's step one. Step one, make small incremental changes. So at least you won't get the glyphosate and the bad starches and proteins that's in, regular white flour. Then do an organic version of beans. Maybe you want to make sure all that your sugar is at least organic, and maybe start looking at some alternative sweeteners just a little, and reduce the regular sugar content in your diet by substituting with alternatives like possibly honey or maple syrup or stevia or monk fruit or some of these kinds of things that are a little bit healthier versions, cause less of a blood sugar spike. So little by little. So just, if you're going to the Azure website, start with the things that are already in your pantry. Just find the better version.
Well, David, we certainly appreciate the time you've offered, the support you've offered for our program, allowing our listeners to hear us and you across the country on all of our stations. We thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for carrying it, and we appreciate the time.
Absolutely.